You draw parallels between plant care and people development.
Mm.
What can leaders or marketing leaders learn about, nurturing a team or growth from that perspective?
I am somebody who has several plants, and I've over the years have had given away plants, moved a lot, everything else. I've killed plants without question. But as somebody who has cared for a variety of plants, you begin to understand that every single plant type now falls under the umbrella of plant, but the individual plant needs different things. It needs a certain amount of sun, or it requires less sun, or it needs a certain amount of watering, requires less watering. There is care within that. And what I've come to learn over the years, Martin, where I draw those parallels, especially in the moves that I've made, when I take a plant out of a room that I think is doing okay, and then I move it to a new space and there's actually more light there, all of a sudden this plant just takes off and it starts growing, and it's, oh wow, all I needed to do was move it somewhere else. It just needed a little bit more sunlight. And because I am somebody who's watching these plants and understanding how they're doing, I take that mindfulness there. When I see a plant isn't thriving a whole lot, that's an opportunity now. Okay, it's been 3 months, not much is changing here. Like, it's not really growing. I know that there's room for growth. Let me try something else. Let me go and just try and move it. I know the light here is indirect. Maybe it needs more indirect or more direct light. So I think that's such a parallel for me that I've pulled on, Martin, because it's just a good reminder that every living being on this planet, plants or humans, we all have our own system of how we operate, of how we think, of how we view the world. And sometimes it's as simple as an approach that I may be taking for one person is not the same approach for another person. So if I have two plants sitting on a windowsill, the exact same windowsill, and one's growing and one isn't, it's not because the one that isn't is on the path of dying and I'm going to have to get rid of it. It's just because I need to move it somewhere else. So that's where I draw those parallels. I draw a lot of parallels from nature into my day-to-day, and it helps to ground me and just simplify some of the complications of the world that we live in today. Really break it down to its simplest core, which is, you know what, I just, there's obviously a small tweak that I can make here to help nurture some growth even further for a plant or a person.